Welcome, welcome, welcome. Good morning, welcome. Well, it's really afternoon. It's good morning over there for you. Welcome to
Yep,
the Gambling Elephant. I'm one half of the host. My name is Moose.
I'm Hamet Neferet, and good morning from the West Coast. We're just waiting to see who's going to join us. The topic for today is when you become a caregiver. It's not necessarily um, medical only. Sometimes we become caregiver of children from extended family. So that's going to be our topic today. We just waiting for some of you guys to join us because we did start a little bit early. So, and while you're waiting, you could jump on over to our Facebook page and like the Gambling Elephant. You could follow us. We hope you do both, and also go over to YouTube and like the Gambling Elephant and subscribe and follow us as well. Or I could say this: we got some uh, updates and we got some stats for you, so we're not just talking in the air about it. We both have experience being caregivers. So this is, and I know a lot of other people have too. So this is going to be a really good topic for us all just to share some ideas and maybe find some added resources on how you could become a caregiver for a family or friend, for a family member or a friend. Get my glasses. All righty, so let us get started. Again, this is the Gambling Elephant. I'm Hamet Neferet, and my co-host is,
My name is Moose.
and we today our discussion is going to be about becoming a caregiver. And I do apologize for those that would like to come on with us. Um, but for some reason this event became private and I don't know how, why. So we will definitely be sharing the link with you. So if you have questions or you would like to offer a comment, you still can do so afterwards. So Moose, why don't you start off on how we arrived at this topic for this week?
Well, being that like you said, we've been discussing a lot about medical issues and things like that. It's inevitable. You know, uh, you will get sick. You know, if we keep living, one day you will get sick. It might not be terminally ill. Hopefully, it won't be terminally ill. But you will need to care for somebody, or somebody will need to care for you. So, and being that we was, our previous shows was built around the heart and cancer and things like that. Uh, it's only fitting to talk about being a caregiver. You know, I've experienced that at a very early age. Um, when Sister Reynolds got sick.
Mm-hmm.
That was my truly first experience having to, help someone when they when someone is sick, you know,
Right.
and I didn't know that I was able to do, I didn't know that I was capable of doing something like that. but I helped, and
Right.
I helped a lot. You know what I'm saying? And yeah, it was sad to see somebody go through that, but I'm happy I was there to be able to help. You know.
Right. And I just want to add, so for those of you that um, don't know who we're talking about, we grew up with Sister Reynolds, and she later became my first mother-in-law. And when we lived in Michigan with my first husband's family, uh, she became ill, and all of us, the whole family, um, chipped in and provided care for her. We provided her meals. We helped bathe her. We sorry about that. We made sure that she was clean after she used the bathroom. We cleaned her toilet, and to see someone that you genuinely have love and concern for going through what she was going through, it was heartbreaking. Um, and I took it very hard when she passed, but it was also rewarding to be able to provide care for someone who was a huge part of my life. And my grandkids did, I mean, my children did get to be around her. um my first three children was around her when she was going through her illness. So um yeah, so that's how, like, a lot of times you don't know you're a caregiver, I want to say, if that makes sense. You just doing what comes naturally, or what you are trained to do. So our mother was a caregiver, and my sister literally is a caregiver. She helped me with my children when I was going through my separation and divorce. um and she was there as a custodial person who acted like a parent. um and you too, Terrence, you was there as well.
Well, I was there first.
You were there first. Yes, you were. You came to Louisiana.
Yeah, I was.
And you was there and you helped out tremendously. And then we all migrated to Michigan, um, where we experienced sickness, you know, and
Yeah,
eventually which led to death.
yeah. It's it's in this is a very important topic. Because like I stated earlier, if we keep living, eventually, uh, life shows up. That's just the bottom line. And when life shows up, I want to be there, and so I can participate in it. Whether
Right.
especially if I'm the one that have to give the care. You know, I know a lot of times I'm troubled with the I don't want to be a burden to anyone in my if I make it to old age. And I'm pretty sure I'm not the only one that feel like that. I'm pretty sure a lot of people feel like that. Like you don't want to be a burden to anyone, but I also don't want to be stuck in a nursing home somewhere. You know what I'm saying? Where I'm just wasting away. You know what I'm saying? And but to be a caregiver, you know, is it's an essential part of living. A very essential part of living. Because I just hope that if it happens to someone, that they are able to endure and go through it, and not cause harm, because we see the horror stories. We see the horror stories. All you have to do is turn on your TV, and you'll see people abusing people when they're supposed to be caregivers. You
Yeah.
know?
Yeah. And not defending um, people who abuse sick individuals. Some people are terminally ill. A lot of them are terminally ill and don't have a voice. Um, and also caregivers of children. When and we're gonna go over this later, but a lot of these people have become so overwhelmed providing care that they become abusive towards the person that they are providing care for. So what we try to do with the gambling elephant is we like to come with facts. Okay, so what I did is I compiled some facts, and it really relates to me as well, because I think by this, by the time when I start reading the facts, you'll see. But I am part of the baby boomers, and it says this is facts. Okay, by 2030, baby boomers will be over 65 years of age. So somewhere between, I would say, 62 and 65, baby boomers will be. Um, 1 in 6 working full-time or part-time people report assisting with elderly or disabled family members or friends. Um, when a spouse is absent for someone who needs care, uh, it falls on a daughter or a daughter-in-law. So that's very important, because for me, a lot of my life, I was a caregiver. I provided care. My sister is a caregiver. She's been doing it a long time as well. And in your case, you are a male, Terrence Moose, and you are a caregiver. So this is just something that, saying that most of the time it falls on a daughter or a daughter-in-law. So it's not discrediting any men out there who provides care. Women spend an average of 17 years caring for children. Now that's non-custodial children, meaning you might be caring for family member children without documentation. You might have neighbor children, for whatever reason, you're providing care. Okay. And an average of 18 years providing care for their elderly parents. So I know growing up, and the way we were raised was, our elders don't go to nursing homes. In a very rare case that I ever see it in our community, but now I'm starting to see more and more people are sending their loved ones to nursing facilities or care facilities. And I got one more, and then you could elaborate on it. It says one study shows that one family loses an average of $659,000 over their lifetime as a result in reductions in their salary and retirement benefits due to becoming a care provider. So that is over $500,000 that in wages or bonuses or pension payments that you're going to lose when you become um, a caregiver. Some people might say that it's not worth it for me to even do this, even though I love the person, but I still have to live. So I'm going to let you, I'm going to switch it over to you so you could jump in on some of those facts that I just read off.
Yeah, it's unfortunate that in today's society that we have to make those decisions. You know, we have become a system of not we have become a system of not being family oriented, and in some cases it's a good thing, and but most cases it's a bad thing,
Yeah.
you know. So like you just gave that stat. So would I rather have over $500,000, or would I want to make my parents comfortable in their final years? You know, it's a decision that people make on a daily basis.
Yeah.
And you gave the stat, unfortunately, the money is winning. You know, family is not winning, the money is winning. Um Now I do understand that we still have to live. I understand that, you know, and like I said, we live in a system is kind of forcing us to make these choices. You know,
Right.
me personally, you know, and it might sound harsh, but I am so grateful that I didn't have to see my mother go through that. Even though she's not here, you know, but I'm just happy. I'm happy for that part, you
Right.
know, because to watch somebody go through stages of life like that is it can be traumatizing, it could be harsh. You know, I mean, you know, I'm just gonna say a couple of illnesses like dementia and cancer, especially that cancer
Hmm.
and like dementia, like to see somebody revert back to like a child,
Right.
you know, and they might be 79, 80, 80 something, you know, and like you remember when this person was strong
Right.
and durable and laughing. And I'm talking about, when they hold your hand and you look up at them, you thought the world of them.
Right.
And now they got on the pamper,
Right.
and
And
it
and 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 let me just jump in real quick. A lot of people forget, like you just said about the strength that these people used to exhibit. A lot of people forget that this is also traumatizing for the one that's taken ill, or they are used to being that person that was the backbone, and now they are childlike. Take stroke victims that cannot communicate, um become nonverbal. Inside, these people are screaming, I'm here, but their body won't let them react. And you might have someone who's overwhelmed that day yelling at them, I'm tired of this. That is really killing that person slowly, even more. um so I just wanted to jump in and add that, because we knew our father as one as a giant. This man was super strong. And like our mother, we were fortunate not to see him in a diaper. Although he took ill, we were fortunate to not to see him at his lowest point in his sickness.
yeah, I just, you know, I just I'm a person that when it comes to illnesses, like I understand that it's the will of life. Is like we always say, none of us gonna make it out of here alive. And that's just a
Right.
fact. We might not want to accept it, or or come to terms with it, but we're not getting out of this life alive,
Right.
and that's why this caregiver topic is very important.
Yeah.
So maybe we can inspire somebody to come to grips with it, because in the end, it's all about acceptance.
Yeah.
You know, it's
Yeah.
all about acceptance.
Yeah. I'm sorry about that. That's my other phone line ringing. I do apologize. I thought I turned it off, but obviously I didn't. So give me one hot minute. Let me just turn it off.
Yeah, but when we do the when you do the math, man, the thing is that like we say in this organization that I'm a part of, we in a ride of our life, you know, the ups, the down, and my thing is that if you are a caregiver and it becomes overwhelmed, you need to talk to somebody.
Yeah,
You know,
yeah.
you you
It's a
you
lot of support groups out here for it.
yeah, right now, uh, we going through that right now with my wife's mother, you
Mm,
know, and her brother. You know, I mean, her brother has ALS, and her mother had a stroke. I mean, she has a lot of things going on.
right,
You know, and we going through that right now. We constantly at the hospital. I was up there all day yesterday. You know, I mean, I have to comb her hair. Um, I scratch her hair. I do everything for her except wash her off.
right,
I feed her. I talk to her. I try to make her laugh. You know, I remember when she was in the rehabilitation center last year. Um, I mean, I was there every day. Every day, and it's not something that like I'm gloating. I'm just happy I'm able to be there for somebody.
right,
Because I look at things like this, right? I just hope if I grow old or I get sick or something like that, like somebody would be there for me, because mama always said, like you just don't know who's going to be there to help you. Like you really
right.
don't.
You
You
don't
really
know.
don't know.
And
And
sometimes the people you think are going to be there is the ones that will never ever be there. Um, it's unfortunate because this is a very sensitive topic, and some people say, "Well, why would you want to point out the negatives?" It's not pointing out the negatives. If you read the intro, it's really um, to just challenges. It's a lot of challenges, emotional, mental, spiritual challenges you face when you're providing care, because you never want somebody to leave. You don't. But we all know that it's inevitable that that person is going to transition. um, and when you're rearing children, when you're becoming a caregiver for children, you want them to be the best, but you don't know a lot of times the extent of the trauma that these children have uh, been through, you know, and just a word or a gesture could trigger them and you don't even know why. And then you sometimes you say, well, I can't do this, I need to send them away. So um and there are blessings when somebody genuinely express their gratitude, their thanks. You know, the look in somebody's eyes. Like I could imagine when Mary mom look at you and you could really feel her gratitude for you being there, you know, to help her, you know, and
yeah,
not leaving her by herself.
yeah, I mean, some when because some of these nursing homes, rehabilitation centers, right, hospitals, like we have to understand that this is their job. So they're not looking like, I'm not gonna say everybody, but a lot of people that work in that type of field, they're not looking at it the way that you're gonna look at your loved one, you
Right.
know, and because it's their job, you know what I'm saying? So their feelings are not into it how your feelings is, you
Right.
know. I remember going there and seeing, I mean, these men and women just rolled in the hallway, sitting, I mean, just sitting in the hallway in a wheelchair.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, and they looked like it looked like it was a mental asylum, you know. It
Right.
looked like it was a mental asylum because they wasn't talking, they wasn't saying nothing, you know. And but when she see me, the first thing she say, "Get me out of here," you know. That's the first thing that she say, man. You know, get
Because
me
she
out of
felt
here.
like she wants to be home where she's comfortable,
Yeah,
her surroundings, and she knows that if you could, you would take her out of there. You know, um, it's hurtful to see her like that, but you know, right then and there, that's the best place for her.
yeah, and you know, be you know, being a caregiver, like you stated earlier, is all it's not all negative,
Right.
you know, because I mean, because someone is, you know, someone is in your care. That means that you have to look after, you know, and looking after is not always negative. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, uh, you know, you can get joy out of it, you know, especially when it comes to children.
Right.
You know, you can take them to amusement parks and you know, you guys can make cookies, and you know what I'm saying? Like, you can have
Watch your
fun.
favorite movie,
Yeah,
roll
you know.
around and play on the floor, act
Listen,
silly. You know,
listen.
it's a lot of joy. It's a lot of joy.
Yeah, well, The Lion King, one of my favorite movies, and I got that from watching Chris and Jordan.
Mm,
You know what I'm saying? And I'm talking about the Lion. I love the Lion King. I
mm-hmm,
love the Lion King so much that I went to the Lion King play on Broadway.
mm.
You know, and I got that from being a caregiver.
Right, right.
You know,
Well, I wanted to share something. So bear with me one second. Let me just go to it and let me see. Share screen. So this is just some caregiver stats and the impact that it has on the healthcare. So I don't know if you all could see that now. Okay. All right, there we go. So if you see like right now, this is coming from caregiveraction.org network. And basically they're saying about the caregiver population, um, it's estimated to be $375 billion a year to provide care. Um, from let me see the value of the services family care. So when you are providing care and not receiving compensation, it's a lot of money that individuals are sacrificing to provide care for people. um, More than 65 million people, 29% of the US population, provide care for chronically ill, disabled, or aged family members. And that includes friends too. And they spend about an average of 20 hours a week providing that care. And that's coming from uh, the National Alliance for Caregiving. So here you could just scroll through and see some of, um, how we are as people, as humans, providing care for the elderly, the sick, and also children, because right here it says 1.4 million children ages 8 to 18 um, provide care for adult relatives. So a lot of our children are actually becoming caregivers at a young age. And I know I was one of those kids that was a young caregiver. Moose was, as well as our sister Selena. So I'm gonna stop sharing this. If you want more information, you could go to caregiveraction.org and just read up on it and see if becoming a caregiver is something that you would like to do. Um, Now they are the different states, and this is, I believe, on the state level. You can be compensated for providing care for eligible elderly or terminally ill people. So if you have that type of passion in your heart, and you're losing income, then what you need to do is go through that person's the person you're providing care for insurance, and see how you can become compensated for providing that care.
Well, yeah, I mean, they have um I forget the organization here in New York. It's very simple. It comes on. They have commercials for it all the time.
Mm-hmm.
Uh, if your loved one is sick, you could become a caregiver.
Right.
So that's not a big giant thing. If you want to get involved and get compensated for caring for your loved one, the only thing is that the reason why I know so much about it, because like I said, Mary mother and her brother, they both need basically 24-hour care.
Right.
So I know a lot about it. And the thing is that the only knock on it is that you have to be the one to do the caring. And if like they're not going to send no one there to care for them.
Right.
Like see now, if one of the home health aides call out, um they'll send somebody. You know what I'm saying? But if you say that you're gonna care for them, then you like if like you don't have a day off. That's what I'm
Yeah, you
trying to say.
can't call out. You don't
Yeah,
have a call out.
yeah. I mean that's at least that's my understanding of it as far as New York goes. You
Well,
know,
let me just jump in. So if you are providing care, it's a supplement, and you could still, that person still could have a home health aide come. And that, like, so if that person has like need 12-hour care, you could provide, like, say 8 hours, and a home health aide could come 4 or 6 or something. You could just work that out, um, through however many hours that person is allocated through their health coverage.
but,
So
but, but like I
if
was
it's
saying,
private insurance, it could be Medicare, Medicaid, but you need to find out.
right, each state is different,
Of course.
right? Each state is different. As far as I know, here in New York, because they asked Mary to do it, and as
Hmm.
far as I know, here in New York, that's it. That system is not here. If
Mm,
you don't, if you can't make it, or if you're not there to care for your loved one, they're not sending anyone.
mm.
Now I don't know even across the river over in Jersey. I don't know how it works over there. I don't know how Connecticut works. I don't know how Pennsylvania works, but I know as far as here in New York State or New York City at least, if you say that you're going to take on that responsibility, then you have to be the one to provide the care. You
Mhm.
know, now,
Yeah.
like I said, that's why it's important for everybody to understand what their state or their city, or like you said, insurance, how it works. But
Yeah.
it's not hard to do. If you want to get involved, you definitely can get involved.
Right. And if you, like, a lot of times, that person's habits, they're comfortable with you. You are a direct link to them. Um, and it has to do with trust. You having an outsider come in your home to care for someone. The family members a lot of times don't want that. So, you know, somebody in the family becomes a care provider. Now, I do believe that you can't split up the compensation. So, meaning, if me and you decided to take care of Mary's mom, right? One of us will be compensated, the other one will not be. You get where I'm coming from?
Yeah,
um and that's how, if we both wanted, say, hey, I'm gonna need a little bit of something because I'm losing something, then that's a conversation to be had, how we would work it out. Because you still have to pay taxes, people. Like, don't think that just because you're providing care, you don't have to pay taxes on the funds you receive. It's earnings, and you have to still pay your taxes. So I just want to be clear on that.
yeah. But you know, moving on, it's just that being a caregiver, I'm saying, like, if you're gonna take it on as a profession, I think that you have to have some type of it have to be in you, because you don't want to abuse people. Um, you know, like you said, you coming into people's homes and things like that. Things going to be laying around. You might have access to people's bank accounts and to their financial situations, and I've seen it.
Right.
It was a couple of years ago. I don't want to misquote the years, but a woman, she wasn't exactly a caregiver, but she was she was doing service for this woman down midtown, and the woman was well to do. She was rich, and anyway, make a long story short, she ended up killing her. She ended
Mm-mm.
up killing her, taking her money and stuff like that. And so what I'm trying to say is that being a caregiver has to be in you.
Yeah.
I'm not saying have to be, but you
No,
got.
it has to be in you. This is so, when you do things just for money, you will never be satisfied. Okay. You could make a lot of money and you will lose a lot of money. So, number one, you're absolutely right. It has to be something inside of you. Number two, make sure that you have some type of training. Far as, make sure you are CPR certified. Take a quick free course through your local government, like community action groups. They will provide you with basic um, training on how to move a patient, how to interact with that patient, how to uh, do cook for them, because a lot of these people cannot have salt, cannot have heavily seasoned food. A lot of them might be on a liquid diet, um, and you have to know how to delegate your time far as providing the care, because you still have to have a few minutes to have a bathroom break, take 10 or 15 minutes to just relax yourself. You have to have your lunch period. So take those courses. 9 times out of 10 they are free. Okay. And if you do CPR, you might pay under $50, and it's a good training or certification to have. Okay, learn basic, um, like the basics of different languages, because somebody might not be a family member and might speak another language. So if that's something you want to do, then learn that basic language of that community you're in. Also, I'm going to dwell in, divvy into, learn basic sign language skills. Okay. Because that will help you communicate if someone is having a hearing problem. Okay. Learn basic braille. Some people have vision problems. So a lot of people I know are losing their sight. So this will help you be a better care provider.
Yeah, as far as being a caregiver for the children, you know, I just suggest that you you um you make sure you know who's around your children. In your elderly seniors, because you don't want nobody to abuse them,
Right.
because um unfortunately when certain um people are not when they're not your own, sometimes people get mistreated.
Yeah.
And even people when family members, like it could be your own children, and people
Right.
still mistreat them. So we need to what's that word, vet. We need
Be
to
vetted.
vet,
Hmm.
yeah, who's around our loved ones. Don't and then um even if it's a family member, vet them even more. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Because
Yep.
yeah, like I mean, we see 2020 and 60 minutes where I mean, clearly this people have dementia. They're not in their right frame of mind. And I've seen people take a belt and whoop a 80 something and 90 something year old man and woman, man. Like, and I mean, and all I could think about, man, if that was Lo Lee, oh my, yo, you know what I'm saying? Like, I mean, there's nothing you would be able to tell me.
Right.
Like, there's nothing. Oh, she has dementia. She don't know what she's doing.
Right.
If you can't do the job, don't take it.
Right. Let
You know,
another family
I,
member or close friend take it, or hire an agency.
yeah, but I
Um,
don't know why that's so hard for people. And this goes for every aspect of every profession. You know, if you can't do the job, don't take it. You
right.
know what I'm saying? I mean, stop making excuses for people. We know certain jobs are stressful. We
Hmm.
know that. You know what I'm saying? And I'm pretty sure being a caregiver is very stressful.
Right.
I'm pretty sure I can probably put my life on that because you dealing with somebody that's in a crisis.
Right.
You know, I'm talking about when they're sick. I'm not. I'm just saying like someone that. And especially when people start losing like their wits and stuff like that, or they walking slow because they injured or they elderly, and you want to kick them. And, oh my goodness, man! I'm
And,
a yeah, go ahead, go ahead.
well, let me just add this really quick, because we're gonna have to wrap it up soon. When Before you take on this, uh, I want to say life changing event, this being a caregiver, make sure you have your own physical. Make sure that you are grounded, because it, like what Moose is talking about, is people who did not take care of themselves first before trying to provide care for someone else. I'm not saying if you are healthy mentally and physically that you won't, that people don't do these type of things. Is they do, but you still owe yourself the responsibility to make sure you are in a healthy state. Your body is healthy and strong enough to lift someone, to roll someone, to carry someone. Like you really have to make sure that you are healthy. If you do vaccinations, make sure you're up to date. Okay. If you do herbs, make sure you take them because you can easily become sick with a cold, or I guess they still have COVID around, um, and become sick and then give this person something that could really speed up their demise. So make sure you're healthy first. Take the training courses. Um, uh, Connect with a mentor, okay? That's someone that could give you advice or you could call when you are getting stressed out. And that goes for caring for elderly as well as children, um, and people who are sick. Anything you want to add, Moose?
Yeah, you know, I'm just happy that I was able and still am able to be there for someone. Look, let me tell you, I don't know. It's like I don't know what life is going to bring.
Right,
You know what I'm saying? I really don't. And and the thing is that like I said, I'm just grateful that I'm strong enough, and I'm not an abuser, that I can go and help someone when I'm called to do so. You
right,
know, I don't have all the answers. Sometimes it does get very overwhelming. You know, just like Friday night, we came home. I mean, I just stuck the key in the door. Mary's phone went off, and we had to go right back to Harlem. You know what I'm saying? And
mm-hmm.
and but when you're dedicated and you're willing to help someone, you know, that's all that really matters. You know, and if we didn't do this show today, I would be at the hospital right now.
Right,
You know, but the thing is that I do it because for one, I care for her, and secondly, is because if it's my time of need, I just want somebody. I hope somebody will be there for me, and that's
right,
just the bottom line.
right. And I understand that wholeheartedly. I know a few years back before I left to move to Ghana, I was charged and with the care of a dear friend of my mother, and she was a diva, boy. We called her mother. Mother was a piece of work, and she has certain requirements daily. Um, and I really tried to meet all her requirements, and she would play you. She would revert back to being a little girl, a baby. Then she wanted to be the mother, like she played all her character roles. But it was really rewarding and a privilege for me to provide care and companionship for someone who lived their life a certain way, and when they became ill, it really took a lot out of them. So to help them just have those precious moments of their beauty, or a cocktail, or just to sit and have conversation, or to see her bat her eyelashes, it was rewarding, and it fulfilled me, every day that I was there with her. I'm not going to say it wasn't without challenges, but um I felt complete when I left there, and I have fond memories of her. She since, passed on, but she lived a very colorful life.
Yeah. Well, that's that's it. That's it. That's all I really have to say about when you become a caregiver. You have any closing on?
I just summed it up with mother. Like if you find yourself in a position to provide care, like I said, get your physical, make sure you're up to date with your herbs or your vaccinations, whatever your choice is. Make sure you take those courses, those training courses, find a mentor, someone to speak to. Do your research. If you need to be compensated, see how you could be compensated, because when you become a caregiver, you are giving up your a profession, or you're cutting your hours at a job, so you need to be compensated. Okay. So make sure you do your due diligence and find out how you could be compensated. Every state is different. All the requirements are different. Okay. So that's all I have to say. Until next time, please make sure you like and you follow us and you share, because we are just trying to provide information that could assist you daily. Okay. So until next time, we just bid you peace and farewell and love and joy. You got a closing argument or a closing remark? I feel like I'm
Yeah,
in court.
no, like you said, we still figuring things out. But we doing our research, trying to bring you good content. Follow us, support us, and we're gonna keep on. As our father would say, we're gonna keep on trucking.
Yeah.
And remember, we're just having a conversation, and you guys are just happening to be listening. And so
Yeah,
that
and I'm sorry, I didn't put about a disclaimer in the beginning, but I'm gonna do it at the end. Um, just briefly, we're not medical professionals. We don't hold any degrees. What we have is life experience, and that's what we go off of. So, again, don't quote us medically, because we are not those, we hold no degrees. But this is about life, and we both have life experience, we have life compassion, and we have life caring.
okay. Until next time, everybody.
Till next time, Shimmy Bye.